Hello, my beautiful ladies. Today I want to share a conversation I had with a beautiful, smart, has her career going. She's also a mother. Conversation that I had with her recently. And we were talking about the desire of trying to figure out how to balance everything out. And she was sharing that she just felt exhausted and trying to balance making time for friends and having a career and being a mother and just, not knowing what to do or what to do about it. And so I started to share with her my story and my experience, definitely going through and building my career. I found myself, eventually just kind of getting burnt out almost. I was feeling exhausted. I was overwhelmed. I found myself falling through on my commitments, whether that was work needing me, feeling like work needed me, or my partner needs me, or my family needs me. I also found myself getting into arguments, because I was tired and my partner's tired and he's building his career as well. Just, finding us getting into arguments sometimes and getting into conflict, and almost sometimes finding that, we're almost competing, right? And it's like, after a while, it's like, why am I competing? Like, why are we competing? We're in a relationship, right? We're building a life together. Why are we feeling like we need to compete? But we often found ourselves falling into this. And so I was sharing with her that, my background, I got my degree, my undergraduate degree in liberal arts. My focus was psychology. I didn't end up practicing because I ended up going the business route, which, if you're familiar with this, it was, at least at the time, it was called IO, or Industrial Organizational Psychology. So this was more focusing on understanding and learning about human behavior and why people do the things they do, but focused more on team building or conflict management or team resolution or productivity and efficiency. We were even studying what's the level of lights what the setting is for the lights in the office to enhance the most productivity. This is the detailed level that we were studying at the time. And so one of the lenses that we use in psychology, we use multiple lenses, but I was sharing with her, one of those is looking at why people do the things they do or human behavior through abnormal behavior or normal behavior. While all of my studies, I feel like I learned a lot. I even went and got my MBA in marketing management. So continuing to explore, I've always had a natural interest in learning, why do people do the things they do, right? So while I had this lens, going through my career, going through being in a relationship, I still felt like something wasn't making sense. I felt like something was missing. I was just thinking to myself, I have all of this knowledge, all of this information, all of my studies, all of my experiences, but I have the career, but I'm falling through on my commitments to myself, and I'm not staying healthy, I'm not working out, and I'm not sticking to a decent nutrition schedule. I felt like, hey, I've got the partner, but I'm too exhausted, or when we come home, we're exhausted and we fall into arguments or things like that. And so I've got a partner, but we're getting into conflicts. Like, what is going on? And it's funny, my husband used to ask me early on in our marriage, he would say, why are women so interested in personal development books? And I'm noticing women are reading all these books and they're recommending these books. And I told him, that's because everything that we were told as women that we should be doing, we're also realizing that in a way it's not working, and we're trying to figure it out. We're like, why isn't it working? Why are we feeling these things? And so yes, while having that lens of abnormal versus normal, I found masculine energy versus feminine energy. I was introduced to this topic and really dove into it because, to be honest, everything else couldn't explain why things were happening and why, why my life had ended up the way it was. It was great, but I still felt like there were some things missing. And so, I was sharing with her, masculine and feminine energy for me started to help explain not just the behavior or what people do, but why people do it. And it started to explain from a perspective of how we're wired, how even from our hunter and gatherer days, what are things and environments that were in that time that wired us over thousands, tens of thousands of years, right? And so that's the main thing that I shared with her and that I want to just introduce to you. This idea of masculine and feminine energy. If you find yourself exhausted, overwhelmed, you feel like what you're going through and you feel like you're going through it alone, if you're finding yourself getting frustrated and getting into arguments with your partner, your kids, even your friendships, right? I invite you to go on this journey with me and learn more about masculine and feminine energy. And one of the ways that it's also described is so masculine energy is the doing energy, and it's also been described as the riverbed. Feminine energy is the being energy, and it can be described as the river flow. This is my favorite analogy, and coming from the business world, this is the analogy that I clicked with. And I'm going to go into some of my first experiences in another video, so stay tuned for that one. But just wanted to share, because she was asking, what made you think, like, what is feminine energy? And so this was the best way that I knew to describe it. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.